Side out.
Great serve by Brooke Buckner for the first point of the game.
0-0.
Or great return, sorry.
Side out. 0-0. Point. One zero. Point.
Notice a couple of net balls here from Brooke to start off the match with her forehand side.
2-0.
Look for her to right the ship earlier than later. Oh, once again to the net. It's 3 missed net balls from Brooke's forehand side.
She has been kind of leaning back right on the strike. If she stays forward on that, she's going to be making them in no time. That's an adjustment that she'll definitely find.
Wow,
Nice shot.
that forehand was actually really close to the sideline. Surprised you did actually play that ball. But credit to Brooke for staying into that point and digging down for a strong backhand passing shot cross court.
Side out.
Great shot making from Judit from a defensive backhand.
3-0. Side out. 0-3. Point.
What a heavy forehand by Brooke Buckner there to set up that missed shot into the net. So much action and spin and depth, especially with the court not being as far back, not having as much space there. Not much Castillo could do.
What a get.
Wow, what a wind-up. Notice how much torque Castillo got on that backhand. She had to twist a little bit to the left, but really load up on her left leg to generate the torque and pace that she needed for the cross-court winner.
Point.
Great approach shot by Castillo right there. Not letting Brooke back into that point after that approach shot, closing in hard and cutting off the angles.
4-1. Side out.
It's so impressive how hard Brooke has been striking these balls. You just hear it come popping right off of that face of the paddle. Everything's so deep with so much action, and there's not much you could do with that little time from that far into the court. Ball got a little bit away from her there off the bounce. A little bit overstretched.
Judit coming over to get her towel. The sun is shining. The breeze is happening right here on Sunday.
No complaints here.
No complaints. Grandstand court.
4-1. Point.
So that forehand, she's coming up a little bit early there, which is what caused that miss. She needs to stay down a little bit longer through that follow through.
5-1.
Yeah, it's tough to get into a rhythm, right? It's hard to like find your shot in the middle of a match. But when that happens, I tend to start making higher percentage shots. But it's hard to do that because your opponents could then take advantage.
Oh, Castillo had that ball right in her sights, but her momentum was going so far towards the net, she wasn't able to make the adjustment to bring it back into the court. So the momentum of the ball just kept going wide. She wants that ball back, though. She was there.
1-6.
Ugh, good
Point.
try.
Castillo made a great effort there to get those balls back, but just way too heavy, way too deep by Brooke Buckner.
When you say heavy after this point, when
2-6.
you say heavy, what does that mean after this point?
Sure. Wow, speaking of heavy, Castillo there with a heavy backhanded winner up the line.
Heavy.
So to get it, ball to be that heavy, you really have to generate a lot of spin and action,
Okay.
while also generating a lot of depth. So once the ball hits, it just explodes off the ground,
Got
which
it.
makes it extra heavy and tough for your opponent to really do much with because they're pressed for time.
Point.
And Brooke just can't quite find her forehand return yet in game one so far. We've noticed quite a few misses into the net. I think she's going to have to hunker down a little bit before
7-2.
making contact with that ball instead of coming up too soon to generate a little bit more forward inertia with that swing, like that ball right there.
Wow,
Wow.
Judit.
What a shot by Castillo.
And you notice that angle off the forehand side. It's just all about accuracy. She had Brooke Buckner pulled out of position, and now she is ahead by 6 points on the serve.
Yep, notice the placement of that angle too is a short angle with Brooke closing hard rather than
8-2.
trying for the deep angle, which Brooke would have been able to cut off.
Point.
Once again, that errant forehand return, this time falling a little bit long.
And that's typically Brooke Buckner's
9-2.
shot, her go-to, her bread and butter.
Point.
You can sense her getting a little bit, I guess, more tired on that point with the slice. She hadn't hit a slice for some time. Typically when players hit that ball, it's because they want a little bit more time to recover
10-2.
to get back into the point, or maybe because they just need a little bit more energy.
Side out.
Brooke Buckner able to save 1 game point. She needs to really get into it right here in order to gain some momentum and points if she
2-10.
wants to stay alive.
Yeah, that's what she needs to do right there. Heavy forehand in the deep corner, close in hard, and just put away that ball into the empty space.
Heavy forehand.
Heavy, heavy.
3-10.
Off the net.
Wow, what a point there. You saw a little bit of everything from the deep, heavy balls from Brooke approaching in. Castillo kind of responding with a couple of her own heavy balls, and then you see a reset to give herself more time and coming to the net off the tape, and then you see Brooke Buckner holding and waiting to see which way Castillo was going to run, and then just putting that ball into the empty space.
4-10.
A little bit long there by Brooke Buckner's forehand side. Once again, spraying
Game
a little
point.
bit deep. She really needs to shore that stroke up.
10-4.
Oh, she got lucky there with the
Side out.
tape helping her out a little bit. Let's see if that's what she needs to get a little bit of a spark for a run.
4-10.
Once again, coming up a little bit early on that
Game
stroke.
point.
You'll notice as she was approaching towards the net, she didn't give the ball enough time to make contact with that paddle face. Coming up back of the ball made the ball spin down into the net rather than going
10-4.
forward over the net.
Point.
And Judit Castillo does it on the third game point of game number 1.
Count, I believe, needs to go down quite a bit on the Buckner side for her to make a run at it. Castillo was right there with that forehand pass as she looks for that ball to land in the corner, but it sails a little bit wide.
1-0.
What a drop volley there from Judit Castillo.
With a lot of backspin action to boot, making it really tough for Brooke to get under that ball enough to be able to clear the net on it.
0-1. Point. 1-1.
Ooh, just long, but I really like
Overdid
that
it a little
backhand
bit.
angle there from Judit Castillo. That gives her so many options to create variety on her point.
She was able to pull Brooke to the side, just needed to put that one away down the line just a little bit much on the extension.
Point.
Too much firepower on Brooke's side.
That
And
all stemmed from Brooke's serve, right?
Deep
Big
serve. Deep serve, quick close, and then a great angle on that put away for the overhead.
2-1.
Wow.
Judit Castillo is going to call it out.
That ball was out.
And the ref confirms, yes, that ball was just wide. Whoa, really close though.
Yeah, what an attempt
1-2.
by Brooke Buckner on that. It was a rocket. So good there by Castillo. Really good control. You'll see that she had to really angle that backhand to get it nice and short, to get a little bit by Brooke's sweet spot zone, and it created a little bit of a pop-up, which gave Castillo the opportunity to close out the net.
Point.
Great job by Judit closing in hard after a great approach shot.
3-2. Point.
Judit keeps targeting the forehand of Brooke Buckner.
Look for her to continue to do that. Attacking the Buckner forehand, looking for either the air
4-2.
to the net or the air deep. Ooh, but no error there. She's way too close to the net.
Brooke's probably thinking, hey, why don't I come to the net more? Be a little bit more aggressive and put a little bit more pressure on my opponent.
2-4.
Too good by Castillo there. Even though Buckner was able to close in hard, Castillo's passing shots, the placement was just a little bit too precise for her to be able to combat.
Four, 2.
Too good there.
Side out.
I broke Buckner as she closed hard. Good effort by Castillo.
2-4. Side out.
A little frustration from Brooke.
4-2. Point.
Same forehand miss to the net that we saw in the beginning of this match by Buckner. Look for another serve by Judit to
5-2.
Brooke's forehand side.
Side out.
She tried something different there, missing it a little bit long.
2-5.
So good with that control. Notice she took some pace off that ball to get that angle that she wanted. That short, fast dipping angle as Brooke was at the net trying to close hard.
Five, 2.
Too good by Brooke over hitting behind Castillo as Castillo tried to close in hard left. She hit behind her forehand to Brooke Buckner. Great placement with that ball.
2-5. Point.
Okay, a little bit of a run here from Buckner, stringing a couple points here together.
This is where it starts. This is where things could catch on fire. Plays like that could carry on for several points. So let's see if Brooke could do it here on this side out.
3-5.
Wow, too good on that cross-court backhand. Just so steady with that. Able to get that angle from that low of a point. Amazing shot.
Judit is so fast. She gets to the ball so early. Her preparation is so good. And, you know, it's not about how hard she's hitting it. It's about where she's putting that ball. What spot is she hitting to? And she's been doing so great in this match.
And being so stable every time she makes the strike on that ball because she's so early. Oh, speaking of stable, she was still taking a step there to her right.
Definitely on the baseline
On the
for me.
baseline is what we're referring to, that's right.
It's a little tricky getting up to the net for women just because they don't have bigger strides, and it's tough. It's tough to get past.
Once again, that short cross-court backhand. Look for her passing shots to be in that spot. It seems to be a favorite placement for her.
And if both ladies, when they come to the net, if they don't have to get all the way to the non-volley zone line, really what they have to do is just stop in the right moment to guess which side, or not guess, but see, which side it's coming to. That's all it is when you come up to the net. You don't have to get all the way up to the line.
And sometimes by doing that, you put yourself in jeopardy because you're still not completely stable when you're making contact with the ball.
Right. All right, we're at a gridlock here. Brooke Buckner down by 2.
Three, 5.
Oh my gosh. So what we were talking about earlier about that anticipation, she was there with plenty of time. Castillo was on that backhand counter. Before Brooke even hit the ball, she was already going to her left.
Definitely the oh snap point of grandstand court so far.
That was pretty snappy.
Have you had the O-Snap pickles here? Oh my gosh. I live off of those O-Snap pickles. Every tournament, every PPA tournament, grab like 5 bags. O-Snap.
Well,
Call it
pickles
the
are supposed to
O-Snap.
help you with cramping too, so.
Oh, okay.
5-3.
Wow, that was a great backhand.
Side out.
Castillo was leaning to the right and it still got by her. That's how much pace that was put on that ball. And then it dipped so fast in the corner. No chance on that.
3-5.
Really good close by Buckner. She needs to do a little bit more of that to get back into this game.
Four, 5.
Uh-oh, that forehand again. So what's happening is she's coming up a little bit early as she's rushing to the net, not letting her stroke completely finish for the extension, pulling up early and the ball ending up a little bit below the tape. She needs to stay down through that follow-through and then continue running towards the net.
So Castillo has been stuck at 5 here for the last 6 side outs. So finally, after the 6th side out, she's able to get a point, and that's huge when you're stuck for quite some time. And
She's got over a little bit of a hump.
Yeah, and she decided to stay back on that point. She didn't come up. She didn't rush it. She decided to grind it out and work her way closer and closer.
And the way that it was successful was that on the other side, Buckner also stayed back. And Castillo's been getting the best of her when that were to take place. The only time that Buckner's been able to capitalize is if she closes harder.
Point.
Coming up early on that forehand again, once again into the net.
Brooke having a conversation with her paddle. Maybe she's not feeling it. And interestingly enough, we were talking to Hayden in the previous match. He just couldn't feel it off of the paddle because of the weight.
7-4.
Slice backhand.
It's a little bit too short.
Oh, that was the right spot from
And it's
Brooke.
what she wanted, too. She was up at the net. Castillo was still a little bit behind. She just didn't execute on that cross-court backhand slice volley. Castillo starting to pull away a little bit here after getting over that hump off of 5.
Side out.
A little bit of a misstep there by Castillo.
But with a 4-point lead, she can't get too comfortable. She has to stay consistent, keep the pressure on Brooke, because anything could happen. Those 4 points could just instantly pass by her. So let's see if she stays focused here.
Same thing, errant forehand by Brooke. Really look for Castillo to attack the Buckner forehand. She has been having success with that throughout this match so far.
Side out.
Too much real estate for Castillo to have to cover from corner to corner, angle to angle. Buckner really dictating play on that last point. She needs to do more of the same to cut into this lead.
4-8. Side out. That ball was out.
Ooh, that was a really tight call too.
I couldn't even see it. Comes
Every
by
ball
so
is
quick.
so deep and so fast that it's hard to see. even though that was right in the corner where we're sitting.
I mean, the players have the best view, right? Because they're looking to hit that next ball, so.
8-4.
Yeah, that return was what gave Buckner the point. The return is what really led to the whole domino effect of the rest of that point. Her return was so deep that Castillo was on her back foot and back the whole time.
The point construction, too good there.
4-8.
Oh, she wants that one back. Great approach shot, too. She had the closeout ball and just sprayed it a little bit long.
Eight, 4. Point.
Just wide.
And again, both players staying back at the baseline. Judit coming up on top of that point again.
What a good passing shot right there by Brooke Buckner. Really patient, waiting for that ball to get into her pocket and driving through. Really nice, smooth play by her.
Four, 9. Side out.
Oh, and a miss wide for match point.
And that's 2 misses in the same side after making
Hydration break.
some great play.
Judit Castillo doesn't want to take a timeout. She just wants to take a quick hydration break on match point.
Yeah. She's got to be tired. It's so much running in a singles game, and it's such a humid day.
It's not that humid, Walter.
You can see it dripping sweat on her shoulders.
9-4.
Oh, excuse me. It's 9-4. No match point. Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Side out.
You haven't seen many of those this match.
4-9. Side out.
Now those you've seen quite a few of. The net ball, the forehand from Buckner into the net. Let's see
Singles
if-
game is just so much more physical that it mentally gets into your head.
Same thing. That forehand into the net.
All right, now we are here with the match point, the real match point, Walter.
10-4.
There it is.
Point game match, 11-4.
And there it is, Judit Castillo with the win over Brooke Buckner, 11-4, 11-4.